All right, folks, welcome to the special post-race show here for the opener of Season 3 of the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series, the GTR 250 at Daytona, and somewhat fittingly, it's a GTR driver who takes the win as the Eclipse E-Racing Chevy of Chase Beaty, the number 25 out of Lawton, Tennessee, with sponsorship from Winning Bid Diecast Auctions, ultimately picked up the win in a close battle between himself and Leo Jamieson, and we've got Chase here on the line. So first off, congratulations to you, sir.
Hey, thank you, man. This is awesome. I still really can't believe it, man. Really just cannot believe it.
And really, we're about probably a half hour after the race ended. So obviously a lot of things happening over the course of that hour plus that you guys were on track. But I just kind of want to go back to, obviously you came in season 2. You had some great runs there, but obviously the odd internet gremlin kind of got the hold of you there. But for season 3, how satisfying is it for you to get out of the blocks as quickly as you have?
Well, I never really got a chance last season to show, that I could actually run up front and compete with these guys because of those internet issues. But I was able to get better internet. We got some of the best in the area. Got it locked and loaded and ready to go. And man, I really think that, I know this is just a wild card race, it being a plate race and all, but I really think that this has kind of set the tone for what I can do this season. I have a lot of great guys behind me helping me out. Put a lot of time and effort into getting better over the off season, and I really think that show tonight. Want to continue forward and keep showing it though.
And I mean, there's something about you Tennessee guys doing well at Daytona. Obviously, Jacob picking up a couple wins there in season 1, and now you picking up the win here. And obviously, Jacob, he's part of that GTR orbit that we talked about over the course of the evening. And Leo Jamieson obviously was another guy very much part of that group as well. So having him among a number of others there in those lead packs that you were in over the course of the evening at a place like Daytona, how much did that familiarity with your running mates really help you in the long run?
Well, you got to think, man, when you're at a place like Daytona, one wrong move, and we've seen a couple of big crashes tonight, and it was just one wrong move, man, and that's what created it. When you got a bunch of guys you're comfortable with racing around you, you don't really have to worry about that because you've been racing with each other for a long time. You know each other's ins and outs. You know how everybody drives. And it just makes it so much easier. There's no nerves when you're around those guys. It's like a brotherhood. Of course, at the end of the race, the gloves come off. You got to go for it, but it's so great that we were able to keep a bunch of us around each other like that. And we was able to keep it clean, man. I really believe that the whole reason that I survived to the end of that race right there is because of those GTR guys that were surrounding me right there. We was able to get through those wrecks, racing each other like, calm. No, the intensity never picked up. It really helps having guys like that. Jacob Nelson, man, Jose, those guys are veterans of this game. They've brought a lot to the table. They really help a lot. Picola with the strategies. Dude's super fast. Got to shout those guys out, man, because they help us, man, and they really brought us all a long way. And Sauce, I really hate that he lost the race the way he did tonight. I'm so excited to win this thing, man, but I hate that he lost it the way he did. But got to shout those guys out, and, man, I can't believe it.
Well, take me through that last little stretch. It was basically yourself and Leo there at the very end. I think there was like a 4.5 second gap between yourselves and third place AJ Knickel there at the end. So yeah, take me back to those last couple laps, just kind of break down what went down essentially and kind of what went right for you to ultimately wind up here chatting with me.
So what made the end of that race right there, there was 5 of us that had broken away after that wreck. We were by ourselves. That was the race, man, was us 5. And I knew that it was going to come down to the pit stop. So we go down, we're pitting, we're all pitting. AJ, what got him behind us a little bit right there is that he pitted a lap before us. So he ran a whole lap with no drafting help us apart. We ran that extra lap, and we probably gained a good 2 seconds right there, and that's what made the difference and put him too far back to be in contention for it after we come out. What happened to Travesty? He pitted with us as well. He was up in that top 5. It was myself, AJ, Travesty, Jose, and of course Leo. And Jose, I accidentally got into him going into the pits right there. I have to shout out an apology on here to him. One of the lap cars that was in that draft with us, they kind of clipped me a little bit, and it knocked me hard down on the apron, and I hit Jose, and he spun out from it, and that's what happened to him. Travesty accidentally took a half can of gas instead of a full can, so he couldn't make it to the end of the race. And with AJ short pitting that one lap early, it put him out of contention for the win because he had no drafting help. So at that point, I knew it was between myself and Sauce. Sauce beat me out by a good 2 seconds, and man, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought it was over right there. And then over the next 3 laps, I was able to catch the lap car of John Moore, and I passed him. He got behind me and pushed me up there, man. I couldn't have done this tonight without John Moore. I don't know why he decided to push me up there, but he pushed me up there. We was able to make the pass, and man, I got the W off that, and that brings back to, I hate that Sauce lost this race that way, man. It would have been it'd been so awesome for him to win in his first start. But John Moore, man, I owe him one. I couldn't have done that without him. I really couldn't, man. I owe all kinds of gratitude to that guy, man. Insane.
And I mean, I can hear it as you're kind of explaining how it all went down there. Obviously, you're talking about the kind of misfortune from Leo's side of things in the name of your own first victory here. So it's nice to kind of hear that side of things. And you're definitely, it seemed like you were really comfortable out there tonight. We talked about, having your running mates there with you, but it seemed like the car itself was really working wonders there for you with the stage 2 win as well, on top of obviously the race win at the end. So maybe if you could touch a little bit on that, just kind of finding comfort with the car and your setup itself over the course of the evening.
Well, that comes back to not being a rookie anymore. And that's what I've tried to tell you. I've got a rookie teammate in Travesty. I brought him on board, was able to sign him. There's a lot of rookies. I think we have 10 in this league as a whole. No, we got 11. That's right, 11 rookies. And I've reached out to some of these guys, and I've tried to tell them, man, last season I really struggled. I only had 3 top 10s and 24 starts. But a lot of the races I just threw away myself, right? So I can't blame it all on the internet because I was in the contention in a lot of those races, and I just the nerves got to me. I was super nervous last season, and I've tried to explain to these guys, man, this is big time, man. We all love this league. People love this league. This is big time, but you got to just come out here and treat it like you would anything else and just run your race. Otherwise, they're going to be just like I was last season. This season, there's no nerves. Come out here and look at that, man. One race in, just comfortable, ran my race. Ran the strategy that I knew that was going to put the car up front, stayed up front all race long. And when you're up front, there's no trouble. So we was able to avoid all that, all the trouble, all the crashing, put together that strategy. That GTR Daytona strategy, man, that thing works every time. And a lot of people don't get on it. And it's always the race winning strategy. It really is. And we was able to make it work, man. Some of those other guys that was a little bit better than me, they got taken out in incidents and hardships, and that's really what opened the door for me. I think that we could have got it done without the issues that everybody else ran into. I think we had a top 5 car, was going to get a top 5 finish right there and was going to contend for the win, but I just don't think we would have been able to push through right there, and I was content with that. And once all that broke down under them pit stops, I knew that it's going to be a 2-horse race, and I just wanted to try my best. Sauce being a rookie, man, he's a veteran driver of this game, but I knew he had them nerves going on. I knew that if I could just get to him, I thought I could get it done. Wouldn't have got to him without JMW, wouldn't have got it done without JMW, but man, that's awesome. Yeah, man, back to your question, though, it's just there's no nerves this season. That's where that comfortability comes from, is just having no nerves anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, you really kind of touched on it there. Like, obviously, having the fast car at Daytona is one thing, but obviously avoiding the carnage that comes in a race like this is, half the battle as well, if not more. And certainly you navigated that as well, as did your teammates for the most part. You talked about Travis and his run throughout the race. Ultimately, the gas can you referenced earlier dropped him down to 11th, but you also had your Eclipse teammate Mike Marini finishing in 4th. So a strong night for the Eclipse guys overall. So putting that team together, what's your kind of initial take on, how things transpired for this particular trio?
Well, I knew on paper a lot of people didn't know who Travesty was. There's some guys in here that ran with him. I know the potential that he has. He's just really hard on himself. But I told him, man, if you just run your race, run good. And I know he's beating himself up about this 11th place finish because he had he probably would have finished 3rd place tonight, or maybe even had a shot at the win right there. But this man's going to have more runs like that throughout this season. This race is not going to define him. He can perform like this week in and week out. And then you got to go over to, Mike Marini, man, is, in my opinion, man, he's a legend of this league. He's one of the best to race here. I was ecstatic that I even signed him. I can't believe he signed with me. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how or why, but I guess looking back now, he made a good decision because we ran good and we got some good tracks. We're really good. We're going to be really good at the road courses. Those are the tracks that me and Marini really circle. And Travis is really good on the ovals. Marini's good everywhere. The oval racing's where I got to get a little bit better at, the 1.5 anyway. But I've put a lot of effort in. I think we can do good. And a lot of that's because of Marini, man. Marini gets on here. We turn a lot of laps. And he's really helped me a lot. I can't believe he signed with me. And it's going to be huge. I think Eclipse can contend with some of these teams. A lot of people on paper probably think we're a mid-pack team. I think that we can contend for it all. I really do. Solid runs, week in and week out is what it's going to take. And I really think that we can do that. I don't think there's a weak spot. I really think that we can go in. I'm really proud to have these two as my teammates. And we're just a solid overall team, man. There's some great teams, but we're just solid, man. I like that. I like solid. I like it. I really think that we have a chance to do great things this season. Maybe even get all 3 drivers to win. And that's our goal, is for everybody to win, man. That's what we want. And I think that we can make that happen. I was more worried about myself than my 2 teammates. And now that that's out of the way, week 1, man, the sky's the limit for this team.
And I mean, the evidence is right there again with the way you guys performed as a full team there tonight. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Mike Marini's stage win as well in the opening stage of tonight. So that gets him an additional playoff point on top of your 6. But I want to go back to what you were just talking about in terms of putting in some of the effort on some of the other tracks. You're going to have a little bit of kind of a proving ground or a litmus test session at Auto Club next week. So kind of setting that up here, what do you think is the biggest thing that you'll need to focus on in order to produce a similar, if not identical, result to what just happened here tonight?
So last season, I was always in the wrecks. I remember watching the broadcast back, man. It was almost like everybody just expected me to crash out every single week. That's what I need to improve on this season to become a weekly contender. I was solid in speed last season. I remember, 11th to 15th place driver most of the season. And I've improved greatly. I've worked hard, and I think that I can go out here on the ovals and compete this season. What I've got to do, my weak spot, is just being consistent through races. And that goes back to a place like tonight at Daytona. Everybody writes me off at a track like that because it takes extreme consistency. But we was able to make that happen. The whole team was able to make that happen all night long. All 3 of us, man, were extremely consistent. And that's what it takes to win in this league and run good week in and week out in this league. And that's comes back to why I really wanted Mike Marini on my team, because I think he's the most consistent driver in this league. He just every week, man, doesn't matter where you go, he's solid inside and out everywhere, man. It doesn't matter where we're going. He's just so consistent. And if me and Travesty can just pick up that mentality from him, it's gonna be hard for us three to not run well. That's right there. Mike Marini's really helped me, and man, this is a huge confidence boost just being able to put this whole race together tonight. Even if I didn't win, it was going to be a huge confidence boost going forward because I always knew that was my weak spot. I would either have a good stages and not finish well, or not have good stage runs and finish really well. And man, to have a full race go right all the way through, I mean, it's just, I think that it gives me the confidence to make that happen other places. And Auto Club, I understand I got to go in there, man, and show that this wasn't a fluke, that I can run well there. And man, I have all the confidence in the world now behind me, and I think that we're going to be able to make that happen.
And I mean, again, it was a fantastic performance here tonight. There's no reason really to think that it can't be duplicated moving forward. Again, impressive opening here to the season. Nice for you to get the kind of monkey off your back there, or that initial victory, I should say. But obviously, before I let you go, obviously we've chatted quite a bit about the GTR component in relation to tonight in particular. So I would be remiss if I let you go without getting a parting GTR baby in the traditional GTR spirit, as we're possibly expecting that to maybe continue developing over the course of the year.
Yes, sir. Before I do that, I want to thank the Winning Bid Diecast Auctions for sponsoring me. That's awesome, man, to have a sponsor. I want to thank God for the opportunity. Nothing's possible without Him. And of course, as always, baby, we got to give out another GTR win, baby. Oh yeah!
And there you go. I love the enthusiasm, and again, all the best to you throughout the course of the season. Obviously, congrats on the win here once again, and who knows, maybe we'll be chatting with you a few more times over the course of this season.
Hey, let's hope so. I really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Three wide coming through the turn here. They're coming up to the line here now. Darcy Ford still got a Ward trying to get inside, though. Where's Ward going to come in? Darcy Ford. And there's the checkered flag. Darcy Ford. And indeed, as he comes through turn 4, he's going to see the checkered flag. And there it is. Scott Bailey is your winner of tonight's Fix Auto 250. They're going to get the white flag this time around. Final lap of tonight's track device up to 125. And coming through. Oh, Marini went through. They're right on the back of each other. Paytack's going to get in on the inside. They're door to door. Paytack into the wall. Mike Marini, he's going to win. Got about 3 or 4 wide behind him on that back
There's
straight.
a lot of carnage right there.
Oh, dear.
A lot.